Well, these two Leinster Championship contenders Galway got their season up and running with a very business-like victory over Cork at Pearse Stadium. Seconds out, round two, we're ready to go at Parnell Park, a ground that has become a real fortress for Dublin, unbeaten here in League and Championship for almost 5 years. They'll play from left to right as you look at it, defending the church end of the ground. That's an early chance for David Dotsy O'Callaghan, who likes the look of it, and that's gone high and over the bar. Well, a flying start for Dublin, and Danny Sutcliffe alongside me. You will have been very impressed with that.
Yeah, you know, as we noted last week in the Tipperary game, they need to get the ball in, and you've seen what he could do there, turning over the bar, and a great start.
And tellingly as well there, an early touch for the Dublin captain Liam Rush back in the team tonight.
Great to have him back. You know, he's central to everything, and he's in his best position there, so see how he gets on.
Puck out from James Skehill, pulled on by Cathal Mannion, and out in front is the speed merchant in that Galway full forward line, Conor Whelan. Man in space on the far side, loose marking from Dublin, an early chance for Pádraig Breheny, and that's really target practice for the Galway right half forward, sides level inside the first minute.
Yeah, dangerous when you give them space, you know, they really punish, as we've seen from the scores last week, so they just need to get a bit tight and you know, curtail the attack.
Well, certainly Dublin will want to keep this game very tight and structured, deny Galway time and space, but there again, plenty of both for Pádraig Mannion to pick out the pass towards Davy Glennon, and Galway will have the possession, but very confident start, as you may expect from the visitors. Micheál Donoghue's team, buoyed by that very impressive win against Cork 6 days ago.
Great start, you know, and it's really important this time of year to get a win, and they're off to a good start and looking to put it back-to-back tonight.
Good confident catch by Liam Rush, missed the defeat to Tipperary due to suspension, and that ball cleared away by Cian O'Callaghan. Niall McMorrow just getting out in front of Greg Lally. Needed some support as Galway get men in around the break.
See Liam Rush dropping back deep there now in front of the half-back line.
He was sorely missed in Thurles. Rush again gets his head up, uses the ball so intelligently. Early touch here as well for Sean McGrath, getting his chance to impress in that Dublin forward line tonight. Players tussling for the ball out near the sideline are John Hanbury and Mark Schutte. Linesman on this near side is Barry Kelly. And I think the Galway defence did enough there to stop that Dublin attack in its tracks, and it will be a free out which James Skehill is going to take a look at. But if Dublin are going to get a win here tonight, Danny, and get back to winning ways, this first quarter, the first 15-20 minutes, absolutely crucial.
Massive, but you know, it's no secret now that Mark is the go-to man. He's one of the best forwards in the country, and they need to get the ball into him.
Long delivery by Skehill in towards that target man on the half-forward line, Niall Burke. He stayed on the ground, he read the break. That's just tailing on the breeze. It was very, very close. The umpire's given it. Dublin cannot believe the score has been allowed to stand. Certainly from our vantage point here, it looked like it had tailed away. It was close, to say the least, but the score stands and Galway lead for the first time. Yeah,
and you know, there's a strong wind there as well, so you know, Galway doing well against the breeze.
Well, Galway will take that, and Niall Burke, a goal and two against Cork last weekend, gets his account open as his defensive colleague Greg Lally sizes up to this free. Lally knocking that ball into the breeze. It's blowing more or less down into the left corner of the Dublin attack as Cian O'Callaghan sits and waits in the pocket and gets that short little pass, but the clearance doesn't find its intended target, and instead it's Adrian Toohey, man who served his apprenticeship with the Galway Intermediates last season, getting his chance with the seniors in the last couple of weeks. Over-carried that ball, just was closed down very quickly and ran out of space and options.
It's a good sign for the Dublin team there, getting pressure on early, but I suppose noted that Cian O'Callaghan's looking very comfortable on the ball. He had a great performance during the week for UCD. Good strong hand by David Tracy, who was
chopped down on there as he tried to turn away with the ball. Referee Fergal Horgan just wrapping Pádraig Mannion on the knuckles there, and that was most certainly a foul and a free in. Tracy's left hand still stinging a little as he sizes up to this free. Hit 10 points against Galway in the National League last season. This is his first scoring opportunity of the night, and he makes no mistake. Dublin, of course, know this place like the back of their hand. Teams level for the second time.
Well, he's phenomenal for Coola all year, and he's very comfortable in this ground, so it's good for him to get a free under his belt, and he's great catch.
So level pegging at Parnell Park. We're in the 6th minute. Possession won for Dublin by Sean McGrath and driven forward by Chris Crummy. Schutte, as Danny mentioned, the go-to man. Good, neat and tidy work though by Paul Hoban. Gets it away as far as Adrian Toohey. First time we've heard the clash of the ash reverberate around Parnell Park, and there's a second one. Chris Crummy closed down very quickly as he tried to execute the clearance. Nobody wanting to give an inch here in the early stages.
Good to see Sean McGrath back there. He's shown good composure already. He's involved underage and under Anthony Daly, and it's good to see him back.
Ball spread to the far side to Conor Whelan. Lovely layoff to Glennon, and not a bad sidestep either. Still he goes. A mazy run from Glennon. Canning demands it and gets it. The spearhead of the Galway attack juggles it to Whelan. But after all the fancy footwork and elaborate build-up, Oisín Goff across to get the block in. And now the backup arrives in the shape of Sean McGrath and Owen O'Donnell. And Davy Glennon goes down, and Dublin get the possession. But that was lovely to watch from Galway, but excellent defensive work in the end by Oisín Goff and his comrades.
Even, tough defeat last week at all. Oisín played very well. He's 2 or 3 years out now, and he played very well last week. He's looking like he's off the same mark tonight.
Poor sideline cut, finds only Canning. Again, nice stick work from the Galway full forward, and it's worked out. It threads its way through to Cathal Mannion. This is exactly where he wants the defender one-on-one, and he went for it all right. Hits the side netting. Well, there looked to be very little on when he picked up that ball, but he created the chance so quickly. Goal on his mind, and I'm sure Conor Dooley will say he had it covered.
Yeah, well, great ball across from Joe Canning. He knew it'd be someone over the far side and switched the play quick.
Galway on the attack again now, trying to hit the front again. Canning shoots from way out on that stand side. Top scorer for Galway last Sunday with 9 points. When he clicks, Galway inevitably click as well. Still waiting though to get his eye in here. Primary possession, so difficult for Dublin to win against Tip. This time they do make it work, they do make it stick, and the shot from long range from Dara O'Connell is good. Dublin lead again. Starting a league game tonight for the first time for Dublin, and that's a really good score.
Yeah, by his performances, it's no surprise now in Dublin from his performance in Championship that he's getting a start tonight, so good score.
Skehill's puck out, hit right into the heart of the midfield. David Burke's first touch, just knocking that ball into the path of a Dublin player. And it's been noticeable, Danny, in the first 8 or 9 minutes how much pressure Dublin are applying around that middle third. They're trying to deny Galway that time and space we spoke about in which they can really flourish.
That is the standout component tonight. They're really in their face, they're really getting the hurl close into the tackle, and which wasn't there last week, and it's great to see now tonight, which we were expecting a reaction.
And that pressure leads to the free for David Tracy, and he pots it from right on the halfway line, and Dublin, the outsiders coming into this game tonight, ease into a 2-point lead. Liam Rush there going in very hard on that ball with Aidan Hart. Rush lost the hurl. Galway have the ball. Nice stick work. Lally to Breheny. Perhaps tried to be too clever there. Liam Rush having to get a replacement hurl, by the way. That first one has cracked in that challenge with Hart as Dublin try and keep this move alive. Hart now back in a defensive position. John Hanbury moves across, and tracking back is David Burke, and that's lovely skill by the stylish Burke. Flicked into the centre by Breheny, and now Toohey. Squeeze on for Dublin is big Chris Crummy, forced to take the scenic route to the Galway goal. Lays it back to Johnny McCaffrey, who lets fly from just inside his own half, and that has tailed away to the left and wide. But Ger Cunningham and the Dublin supporters will be very pleased with how the first 10 minutes have panned out. He said he wanted a response, Danny, and he's got it so far.
He has, yeah, and it's just great to see, you know, the confidence there. Johnny not a bother taking a shot, and it's good to see.
Ball half blocked down, and that was all Galway needed. Greg Lally, the stopper at the heart of that Galway defence, again trying to switch the play, looking for Canning, who has made his run, his move from the edge of the square. Davy Glennon just making a decoy run, but Canning turned into the defenders, and that ball is driven down the field by David Tracy. The pace of this game now is quickened in the last 5 minutes. Fergal Moore, late replacement in the Galway defence, runs into a brick wall in the shape of Eamon Dillon there. Fergal Moore goes down. He was fouled, says Fergal Horgan, but certainly nobody giving an inch in the first 11 minutes.
No, again, it's just to reiterate the pressure from the Dublin forwards is great to see, and Fergal Moore there was met by a wall coming out, and I suppose lucky to get the free.
Down in your picture, Greg Lally standing in again tonight for Irlatanyan, Galway's regular number 6, and knocking this free down towards Conor Whelan. Great take on the move, and lovely change of direction as well, and just hopping that ball on the run to buy himself some time. He's a real trickster, is Whelan. Looking for Glennon. Ball just bobbled, I think, as he was about to kill it, and Dublin turned defence into attack. Sean McGrath outnumbered 2-1. Aidan Hart and Lally. To the rescue for Dublin comes Dotsy O'Callaghan. Did really well there to make something of that. Here's Crummy. Just took a touch, and then a quick look to the far wing. Schutte in a race for possession with John Hanbury. Schutte looked to have been beaten to it initially, but manages to get a hurl to it. Dillon off his left just seemed to slice the final shot, but it has been quite breathless and quite relentless, Danny, so far, and Dublin deservedly sitting on a 2-point cushion.
Yeah, exactly, and what noticeably there again, you can see the forwards, unlike last week, they're going directly towards goal, and their first thing in their mind is to beat their man.
Skell's puck out finds only O'Callaghan. Galway trying to be too clever, and Niall McMorrow pops the ball up and over the bar, and Dublin's lead is out to 3. Well, Galway just after quite a bright opening have gone to sleep again, and Dublin dictating the terms in this first quarter so far.
They've got a lot of men back as well, which is similar to last week, but you know, the ball is sticking in the full forward line, which is affording them to bring men back.
Niall Burke there trying to make some hard yards. Breheny, and laid off outside to Pádraig Mannion. Just one man to hit at in that pocket of space. That was Whelan, and you don't see him beaten for pace too often. Oisin Goff though, quick off the mark, linked up with Dara O'Connell, who has overcarried that ball, I think, as he tried to make some ground, as the Dublin manager Ger Cunningham mulls over what he's seen so far. And when you consider they managed only 12 points in the entire match last Saturday night against Tipperary, this has been a vastly improved performance from the locals tonight.
It has, yeah, and again, notably Oisin Goff, you know, he's coming straight out past his man 2 or 3 times now, but I suppose there's an argument, will he just get rid of the ball first instead of the short pass?
So Joe Canning from a very acute angle sizes it up, takes aim and drills it high and just inside that far post and over the bar. The umpire took his time, took a considered view of it, where Canning makes no mistake and just gets that scoreboard moving for Galway again. Their first score for 11 minutes in this first half.
Sean McGrath again winning his own ball. I think he's playing very well for his first start there in a long time.
Lovely ball from Lally and a great take on the run by Glennon. Well, he's getting an opportunity, Davy Glennon, these last couple of weeks. Micheál Donoghue asking him to show him what he can do. And he's got pace, we know that, but to take that ball at speed and turn and draw the foul from Owen O'Donnell, that took some doing.
It is, and he's a man looking to, you know, put a new stake in with the manager. He's been close for the last year or two, but I suppose Owen O'Donnell just shows how close the Dublin defenders are. The minute he turned, Owen was beside him.
So the first yellow of the match shown to the Dublin number 3 from the Whitehall Columkills club. And another chance for Canning to hone his free taking. Well, as many teams have found out in the past, Canning, on nights when Galway are maybe struggling to get going, he can keep them in the hunt, he can keep the scoreboard moving. And Dublin have been warned, Danny, discipline will be crucial.
It will, and so he's on fire tonight now, and tough angle from the previous free, so he's not going to miss.
Good take by Adrian Toohey, one of a cluster of All-Ireland minor medal winners in this Galway team. Niall Burke, though, accused of barging as he tried to drive past that shoulder of Liam Rush. But certainly the heart of the Dublin defence has been locked down tonight with Liam Rush back in the team, and David Tracy has again left his post at wing forward to hit this free. Breeze at his back, another flawless strike from Tracy, his third point of this first half. And what Canning can do at one end, Tracy doing at the other. Yeah,
it's good, you know, they know they have that in their armoury now, and he's a good start from David Tracy.
Up there to grab that ball ahead of all comers, Sean McCormack from Kilmacud Crokes, and delivers it first time into Eamon Dillon's corner in a foot race back there with Fergal Moore. Here's Schutte trying to take Hanbury on the inside, and Hanbury stuck with him every step of the way, got a hurl to it, and that's gone out for a 65 to Dublin. Well, going by David Tracy's recent efforts, Danny, this 65 should be well within his range, and it's worth mentioning, I suppose, the breeze out there. It doesn't seem particularly strong, but it is blowing right in tonight. 4 points for David Tracy, places club hurling with the county champions Coola, and Dublin's lead is out to 3 again. And not content with scoring the 65, Tracy manages to catch the puck out as well. He's having one of those nights, the Dublin number 12. Now Galway have managed to get back into position and break down the attack, but David Tracy has really taken this game by the scruff of the neck in this first 20 minutes. They're
winning a lot of aerial duels. Sean McGrath just over here on our touchline won a high ball there, and now David Tracy straight after scoring switched on again, and he's flying it.
Porrick Mannion knocking this one down along the sideline towards his brother Cahill. Davy Glennon in to try and help, but instead back there for Dublin is Johnny McCaffrey. And McCaffrey's spade work and industry has led to a free out for Dublin. But they really have been transformed in the space of 7 days, Dublin. So flat, so lackluster against Tipperary on the opening night. But as has been pointed out so many times during the week, they are a different team here at Parnell Park. The last team to beat them here, by the way, in either league or championship, Galway, way back in 2011. Here's Johnny McCaffrey. A few dummy runs being made inside, and instead McCaffrey goes long. race on, and that race won by Eamon Dillon. Showed great pace there to beat Greg Lally, and Lally has been sidestepped and ghosted past, and Dillon manages to cut through and get the shot in, but wide on the run. It would have been some score.
Yeah, but just shows, you know, great pace for it. They've one thing in his mind, and that's going straight by his man and towards the goal.
Lads, if we got a Galway player down, and if so, can you give me a number? But Greg Lally is just being attended to out of picture. Galway down to 14 men just for the moment, as Pádraig Breheny tries to open the supply lines again to Conor Whelan and Canning. Canning had moved inside, anticipating a pass from Whelan. Instead, though, 3, and make that 4 Dublin defenders converge around the ball. A ruck continues to rumble on. Fergal Horgan, the referee, monitoring from a safe distance. And still no sign of anybody emerging with the ball. And eventually Fergal Horgan had seen enough, but Danny, that seemed to go on for quite a while.
It did, but from the Dublin's perspective in the backs, you see the second man coming in to help a lot quicker than last week, which is really standing out here in the first half.
A fresh air pull there from the Dublin defender. That was Owen O'Donnell, but Liam Rush comes across to spare his blushes, and now Johnny McCaffrey as Dublin play themselves out of trouble. Very impressive. Again, it's that early delivery in towards Dillon. Mark Shuday alongside him, grafting as well. John Hanbury, who just loves the close contact. He's in there. Fergal Moore, and eventually away from that collision area came Pádraig Mannion. But it has been frenetic. Anytime that ball breaks and there's a contest for it, skin and hair flying, and the referee has pulled out Niall McMorrow from that last passage of play and has booked him.
Yeah, with great hunger again with the Dublin forwards. You know, they're turning the ball over really well, and you know, they need to keep persistent with this until the halftime break.
So Niall McMorrow there booked for dragging down Pádraig Mannion. Good news from a Galway perspective, Greg Lally is back on his feet. There he is in your picture. Just seemed to injure himself as he was sidestepped by Eamon Dillon a few minutes ago. He's such a big man. But Danny, what have you made of the first 23 minutes?
You know, Dublin seem to want this more. Massive hunger shown throughout the field, and you know, Galway need to really realise there's a massive game on their hands now.
Well, with only 5 matches, of course, in this league campaign, in the group stages, every one of them so important. But after that heavy defeat last Saturday night, Dublin simply cannot contemplate defeat here, or they will be very much in a relegation battle. And they have played like that in the first half so far. They have matched Galway and bettered them in most areas, and Galway perhaps sleepwalking into this one a little bit after putting up such a big score against Cork.
Yeah, playing into their hands now at the moment. Liam Rush sitting really in front of Cian O'Callaghan, who they were small bit exposed last week with space, so he's covering well.
Well, Galway have just lost Fergal Moore to that injury. Fergal Moore, who made his debut 12 years ago for the county, he's out of the game, and Dublin have scored again, and this time it's Niall McMorrow, second point of the night for the centre forward from Ballyboden St Enda's, and this time it was the Galway defence that switched off. They only had 14 men on the field. Fergal Moore had not been replaced. He just has been now by Colm Flynn, but Dublin certainly took advantage, Danny, of that extra man, and McMorrow has looked very sharp.
Yeah, we're waiting really the Galway to react here, but Dublin really in the driving seat.
Yeah, Dublin have now hit 3 points in a row since Galway's last score. which incidentally came 10 minutes ago. So double scores at Parnell Park in this second round Allianz League match. And Dublin going back to basics so far. And getting those basics very right. And here they are again, putting the pressure on Galway, who haven't got to the pitch of this match, especially around that middle third so far. Now Glennon breaks the tackle. On his shoulder was Pádraig Breheny. But the run being tracked and the space shut down, and Galway have to be content with a line ball. Pádraig Breheny had just crept forward unnoticed, shoots for his own score, and the umpire in the exact position to get a good view on that watches Galway clock up their third wide, and plenty for that man Micheál Donoghue to ponder over, Danny, with 9 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, I suppose a different situation from last week. Yeah, he want to get them in towards half time now and reassess, but you know, they really need to just get knocking, keep taking over with a score or two. Dublin are starting to run away with things.
Another strong run from Eamon Dillon, and still going, and Hart stops him in his tracks. From a certain angle it looked like a shoulder to shoulder, but Fergal Horgan blew immediately for a foul. He felt that Hart hit more chest than shoulder. Dillon is down and staying down. Let's take another look, Danny. Free in, Hart taking man and ball.
He had to there, really, you know. They'll take that score now, and you know, really could have rattled the back of the net there.
But Eamon Dillon from the get-go tonight has been taking that direct, quickest route to goal, and he just loves to take on defenders.
That's what we've been seeing in the Walsh Cup, you know. He really set a light in the Walsh Cup, which his primary thing is taking this man on and using his pace, and he's starting to do that tonight.
Well, Eamon Dillon still being patched up as David Tracy picks off his 5th point of the first half, and all of a sudden Dublin have opened up a 5-point lead. And whatever it is about Parnell Park, it certainly does seem to bring out the best in them, admittedly with a good solid 40 minutes still to play.
Yeah, you know, and talking to other teams, it's not a nice place to go, but I suppose them lads out there love it. They play all their club championship games there, school games, so they're comfortable here.
Good delivery and a lovely piece of close control by Dillon, who tries to go past Hanbury. Saved by Skehill, but was Dillon pulled back in the lead-up as he got that shot away. It looked like Hanbury had pulled his jersey. Referee played the advantage. The shot from Dillon, and what about that for a reflex save from the 6'5" goalkeeper Skehill.
Great save, and you know, his interview during the week, he's really pushing for a spot, but you know, it looked like a pull, and he persisted with it, but you know, if that had went in, they would have opened a massive gap.
On that replay it looked like a stonewall penalty for Dublin. Hanbury pulling Dillon just as he prepared to squeeze the trigger. Skehill had gone down one way and just flicked the hurl the other, and he is a man mountain, the Galway goalkeeper, 6'5", tips the scales at over 16.5 stone. But that was a wonderful reflex save. Here's how David Burke got hurt there a moment ago, clattered into as he released that ball, and it will be a free from where the ball landed, I think, by the looks of things. But it has been a very dramatic and eventful 60 seconds.
You just see the swing there now, easy could have been a goal, and now Joe Canning's in front of the post with a free, which, you know, he would miss it.
No card there. So Joe Canning with the free for Galway. And as Danny mentioned, this could be a massive swing. A penalty claim and a missed goal chance for Dublin at one end. Canning dispatches the free with real authority at the other. Dublin, though, still clipping along 4 points in front.
Yeah, most significant event of the first half, and you know, that swings now, that's massive for Galway.
Short puck out from Conor Dooley, and a quick delivery down that flank. Dublin trying to keep the Galway defence on their toes. Good pressure, and Dublin will have possession. Don't forget, more live Allianz League action next Saturday from 6:30. All-Ireland champions Dublin against Monaghan. That's in the Football League on Setanta, Ireland. And also next Saturday evening from 6:45, an Ulster Derby, Armagh against Fermanagh, live on Setanta 1. Meanwhile, back here at Parnell Park, a missed opportunity for Dublin. Their wide count now has climbed to 5. Ger Cunningham has left his seat in the stand. He's now on the sideline as we swing into the last 5 minutes of the first half on a lovely evening for a match here in Donecarney. Nice delivery from Aidan Hart. He spotted the run there of Niall Burke, who apart from that early point has really struggled to get going in this game so far. And once more, Dublin not found wanting in the physical exchanges. There were some real question marks raised about Dublin last Saturday night, but Oisín Goff did really well there.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest man in the world to hold off a couple of Galway forwards, pick it,
it actually looked like he picked the ball up between his two legs there, so a bit of improvisation.
Well, pound for pound, Oisín Goff certainly holding his own out there. And in the thick of it again, that ball breaks though to Glennon. Coming on the burst is Breheny, and Pádraig Breheny unable to hit the target. But time and space at a premium, especially for the Galway attack in this first half.
They need to make it, you know, make use of them shots, because they're not getting a lot of space. So when they do, they have to go over and pour wide there.
And Dublin's puck-out strategy again working well. Crummy to McMorrow. Rush has his pocket picked by Cathal Mannion, and that was a loose pull across David Burke there as he tried to accelerate away with the ball. And Fergal Horgan immediately in to award the free.
Liam Rush hasn't put a foot wrong all night, so just unlucky there, you know. Difficult surface as well, so again, you know, it's looking like it's going to go over the bar, which will make it nearly a 3-point game at half-time.
So Liam Rush with the foul and Canning with the chance. Hasn't been a hugely influential figure so far from open play, but has not put a foot after a first half where they really haven't been firing on all cylinders at all.
He's waiting, you know, he's waiting for his chance. He has to be patient out there. It's tight out there, but again, he's still contributing with his frees.
This time Dublin go long down that central channel over the head of McMorrow and won by Pádraig Mannion. That new look Galway half back line linking up neatly as Breheny. He fills the role of playmaker, looking to supply Whelan or Glennon. Good solid shoulder from Owen O'Donnell, but Glennon managed to ride the challenge and feeds Canning, who drifts out to the half-forward line in search of the ball, in search of space. And what about that from Joe Canning? Well, as Danny mentioned, he only needs a half a yard. It's his first from play, his fifth of the night. And when Canning fires, Galway fire.
You'd have to say scored even there, you know. The minute he struck it, we heard the crowd basically announce the white flag was up.
Well, only the real die-hard Galway supporters have made the trip to Parnell Park tonight, and they appreciated that. We're into the 34th minute, and David Burke has given away a free here, and in the sort of form David Tracy's been in tonight, you could almost chalk this one down already.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking to put this over, but as well, I suppose, similar to the Joe Canning situation, Mark Shooter has been tightly, nearly double marked, so he has to be patient, and when he's getting on the ball, he just needs to, again, good pass out, but he already was awarded the free.
So as we wait for this free to be taken, the referee Fergal Horgan has just gone in to speak to one of his umpires down there at the golf course end of the ground. All the while David Tracy is waiting patiently to hit the free. But before we see what Fergal Horgan is about to do, Danny, give us your impressions, your thoughts on this first half.
Like everyone watching and out here as well, massively impressed with the Dublin forwards and consistently at the back, you know, they're coming out by their men, but you know, Dublin on top at the moment.
So it's a booking for Sean McGrath for something that happened, I think, off the ball, or certainly in a different passage of play that was spotted by an umpire. We're into injury time. Here's David Tracy. And Tracy knocks over his 6th point of this first half. Of course, endured a miserable day on the freeze against Galway in the championship last summer in Tullamore. But tonight, his eye in, and Dublin 3 points to the good. Well, we're going to have at least 3 minutes of additional time. Aidan Hart hit hard and fair and square by Chris Crummy back there. That's the way the referee saw it, and Liam Rush gets it away. Dublin crowd certainly loved that challenge. Here's Shute trying to pick it and go by the cornerback Hooban all at once. Instead, he's forced to lay it off, and the shot is wild and wide from Niall McMorrow. But the centre of that Dublin defence, a bit like a turnstile really last Saturday night, Danny, but it has been bricked off and blocked up completely tonight.
Yeah, there's nothing coming through, but again, and lucky it's soft down there in the corner. If Mark had got that, hadn't a slip there, he was in on goal.
Well, Dublin just trying to pin Galway back inside their own half of the field here, deep in injury time. But the linesman has moved in to award the line ball and the possession to Galway. Well, this is the first of 3 away trips for Galway in the Allianz League this spring. The beaten All-Ireland finalists must still travel to Kilkenny and Waterford in the weeks ahead. Their next outing, by the way, a mouth-watering All-Ireland final rematch away to Kilkenny. But they have a job of work on their hands here now, Galway. Dublin warming to their task, and again, the defence equal to what's been thrown at it, as Niall McMorrow tries to offer him up for that delivery. Dotsie O'Callaghan locking horns with Colm Flynn, the Galway substitute. Seanie McGrath also wanting a piece of it, and in the end Fergal Horgan content to throw it in. Well, will we have a score to bookend this first half? And what a way it would be for Dublin to finish a really good first half's work. Eamon Dillon, he's been a real live wire. Nice delivery, caught by McMorrow, and that's a second wide in as many minutes for the Dublin centre forward, and that would have really put the seal on a very good first half's work.
Yeah, again, you mentioned Davy Glennon earlier on, but great hands by Niall McMorrow. Ball coming at massive pace and took it in a stride, and just unlucky, you know, just pulled left at the last second, but great play from Niall McMorrow. He's having a very good game.
Well, the half-time whistle sounds here at Parnell Park. Dublin beat Galway here last spring by 6 points. They have turned Parnell Park into a fortress over the last 5 years, and they are setting the pace here again tonight. Galway with plenty to do. Ger Cunningham must be quite pleased. At half. Well, we're just hearing Galway manager Micheál Donoghue has made 2 changes at half-time. Andy Smith from Portumna is in to replace Greg Lally. He picked up a knock, of course, midway through the first half, while also in for Galway is Joseph Cooney, just back from club duty with Sarsfields, and he comes into the Galway defence. As Fergal Horgan gets this second half up and running, and it will be Dublin defending a 3-point lead and also defending the goal away to our right in this second half. Galway on the ball. Davy Glennon trying to service Conor Whelan in there on the full forward line, and again Oisín Goff has his number.
He looks so comfortable there, Oisín. Like, he has been away for a year or two, and he's starting the half as he left off. He's really comfortable on the ball, and great use there.
Liam Rush getting that ball away, and again his distribution is perfect. Man on the ball making ground is Dara Plunkett. Low ball down the middle, and Dillon. Here's the call outside from Sean McGrath, but Aidan Hart, a boisterous presence in that half-back line, came across, got a hurl to it, and cleared up by Hanbury. Ball spooned away by Pádraig Mannion. And now Cathal Mannion. Cathal Mannion, nothing obvious on short. Shoots for the spectacular score on the run. But it just hasn't been happening for Galway in terms of scores tonight, and still just the 3 from play.
You can see the wind there. They realise they have it at the back now. Maybe not as strong in the first half, but they're really going to pull the trigger from a bit further out.
Well, when you consider Dublin only managed 12 points in the entire game last Saturday night against Tipperary, and they've almost passed that tally out already here with a full half still to play, it has been a very different performance from Dublin. All built on a platform of a much better attitude, more intensity. And now we await Galway's response. David Burke, captain of the team this season. He was looking for Whelan, but again it's Oisín Goff who comes out on top in that particular one-on-one battle. And the cornerback from Coola has been fouled on his way out. And when everybody else was really struggling last weekend in Thurles, Goff kept on fighting. He's continued that form into tonight's game, and his run there has resulted in a yellow for Joseph Cooney, who's only been on the field a little over 2 minutes, and the Sarsfields man is in the book.
Yeah, we keep mentioning Oisín Goff's game tonight, and over the 2 games he's been the standout performer.
And here he is again, right on cue, as Chris Crummy receives some running repairs in the background. Goff's free, plucked out of the sky by David Burke. Pace. Here's Breheny, 2 loose men on the far side. That ball just hung in the air a little too long for Glennon, who has been pulled back and pulled down by Chris Crummy. And I think Chris Crummy is in trouble here.
It's an area they can't afford a foul, right in front of the post again, and the way David Tracy and Joe Canning are tonight, you can't see him missing this.
So a yellow for the Dublin wing back from Lucan. Actually started his first championship match against Galway last summer, and his foul presents Galway with the chance, which will be struck in the absence of Joe Canning by Cathal Mannion. So Mannion knocks it over. Galway are up to 8 points, but Joe Canning replaced at half-time, Danny, and he is going to leave big shoes to fill. His free-taking in particular in the first half was exemplary.
He is now, and obviously Mannion's on them for the night, and he's started off well, but yeah, massive loss, and they need someone else to step up there now. But we've seen the difference Andy Smith's made already, a few good carries, and he brings a different dimension to the middle of the park.
So Galway, who trailed at one stage in this game by 5 points, have cut the deficit back to 2. Another fierce scrap for possession just outside Dublin's 45-metre line, and no better man than Aidan Hart to emerge with possession. Again, just throwing himself into the contest there with relish, but support slow in arriving. Dublin get in around the ball carrier, and Goff keeps it simple and threads it out as far as the waiting Dara Plunkett. Plunkett looks up over the head of the incoming support runner over there. That was Sean McGrath. And the ball knocked out over the line for a sideline cut to Dublin. But very finely balanced here with a half an hour to play, as Johnny McCaffrey came in brilliantly on that last move to execute the hook on Hart. And McCaffrey working away solidly and diligently all night in that half-back line.
Exactly, he doesn't get credit for the performances he put in, and we've seen there tracking back and getting a flick in, and then presenting Liam Rush with the ball to clear.
Well, that is now 8 wides for Dublin, and the more they clock up, the more you wonder, will they rue them later? That is a huge delivery from Skehill with the breeze at his back, drops right into the Dublin full back line. Conor Whelan is the man who emerges from the rubble with it, but looking at Fergal Horgan's body language, I think he is going to throw the ball in. Again, it was a frantic scrap. I think there was pushing on one side, pulling on the other. Ball thrown in. Cooney had it, lost it, won it again. It's pretty scrappy and untidy as Adrian Toohey goes in after it. Cathal Mannion just shouldering Dara Plunkett into the back. And overall, probably a fitting enough end to a fairly ragged passage of play.
Yeah, we mentioned the first half. It's a tough area around there near the goal with the ground soft. We've seen Mark slipping earlier on, and Niall Burke came onto a ball, but just tough conditions. It's tough, really hard to get the ball in your hand down there. It's very soft.
And coming out with the ball here, the Dublin goalkeeper Conor Dooley, also known as quite a handy outfield player, and not afraid to come out of his goal there as Tracy feeds it back to McMorrow. Missed a few at the end of the first half. Practice making perfect. McMorrow topping up his personal account and restoring Dublin's 3-point cushion.
Great maturity shown there. He had 2 wides at the end of the first half. Not afraid to go for it again and straight between the posts.
Well, Galway have sent for the very distinctive figure of David Collins from the Lee Mellows club in Galway City, and he's replaced the inexperienced Adrian Toohey as Skehill's puck out finds only a Dublin man, and that was easy for McMorrow. 2 points in a minute for the diminutive centre forward. Skehill got the puck out all wrong, and McMorrow makes him pay.
They're just switched on the whole time, even the ball's dead, they're switched on, and he was rewarded there by a poor puck out from James Skehill.
Well, if Galway are going to win this now, they're going to have to dig it out, and of course without their talisman Joe Canning. Here come Dublin again. Dotsy O'Callaghan, lovely delivery towards Dillon. That was important from Hanbury, as driving out with that ball comes the Galway number 17, Colm Flynn. He's a brother of Galway's brilliant forward Jason Flynn, and that was a crucial interception. He has been fouled by a combination of Dillon and Schutte, but it is very much now all hands to the pump back there in that Galway defence.
Dublin are really threatening the goal. Haven't seen so much from Galway, but Eamon Dillon, Mark and Dotsy really threatening the goal now.
So nobody getting a chance really to grab their breath, as Liam Rush again finds himself in the right place at the right time, reads the game so well. Outside to Dara Plunkett. Strong run from the St. Bridget's club man, and coming on the wraparound, Dara O'Connor, native of County Kerry, of course, now very much a key man in this Dublin setup. Rush's delivery. First man to react again is Dillon. David Burke tracking his run, and David Burke managing to clear his lines, but not for long by the looks of things, as McCaffrey moves in underneath it. And this time it's Galway who get the pressure on. Loose ball picked up by Oisín Goff. Goes long in towards O'Callaghan. Strong left hand from the Dublin number 14. McMorrow. A little bit of pinball in front of the Galway goal. Falls to Schutte, and now they have men over. Schutte, chance of a goal. Finished brilliantly by Sean McGrath. Low and hard and under Skehill, and Dublin break the deadlock in the 45th minute.
It's been coming, great move there. The easy option there for Mark, maybe wouldn't put it over the bar, but he bet both the men straight through the middle and unselfishly handed the ball out. Great finish, low into the corner.
When it has been coming since half-time, Dublin have been banging on the door of that Galway defence. Brilliant play initially by Dotsy O'Callaghan to win that delivery. And Sean McGrath finishes to the net, but would you believe, has been replaced. It was his last action in the game. We were just hearing there, the decision to replace McGrath had been made before he hit the goal. As Dublin keep the pressure on, and incidentally the man who came in to replace McGrath, Colm Cronin, has just hit an outrageous point. Ger Cunningham throws in Cronin, takes off the goal scorer, and it all works out.
It nearly mirrors last week against Tipperary. He came on and hit it from the same angle, and they just everything's going over for them now. They're playing very well and they're really pushing on.
It is all of a sudden double scores here at Parnell Park, and we still have 24 minutes of normal time to play. and last year's All-Ireland finalists Galway really now have their backs to the wall. 3 down at half-time. Dublin have really hit the ground running at the start of this second half. And for the crowd of over 4,500 people, Danny, that have come to Parnell Park looking for a response and a reaction from Dublin, they have got it in spades.
Yeah, minimum requirement tonight was, hard work and really give an effort. They've gone above that, and they're starting really to pull away, and they're playing great hurling, moving the ball well, bringing each other into play. So, they're looking well here now for the last 20 minutes.
Well, we mentioned earlier about how competitive and intense this rivalry between Galway and Dublin has become. This is the 6th time they've squared up to each other in less than a year. Those 2 championship meetings, of course, last summer, also played in the Fenway Classic in Boston before Christmas, and the Welsh Cup meeting back in January, which Dublin won with 9 points to spare. And so far they have had the measure of the Westerners, and they're delivering now a constant supply into that full forward line. Mark Schutte has become the target of so many of the deliveries. He's just drawn a foul from Paul Houben, and Schutte has started the second half very impressively.
Well, they were starved last week from ball like that, and you can see now what they can do. They're beating their man out, so it's either ball in the hand and a free, or they're taking them on and getting a score. And more ball in, the better.
So we're heading towards the last quarter, and Dublin very much in the driving seat. And it's been interesting how they've set up the formation of their attack tonight, Danny, and especially since half-time as well. They've moved Dotsie O'Callaghan away from the edge of the square. They've left the space in behind for Schutte and Dillon, and they have really dragged that Galway backline out of shape and out of position.
Yeah, looking off camera here now, it's Eamon and Mark up at top of their own, and Liam Rush still playing the same role in the first half, sitting in front of Keane, protecting the D, and it's working very well for them.
Galway need this. Cathal Mannion needs it, and he's drilled it wide and well wide of the Dublin goal. And of course, with Joe Canning now out of the match, carrying an injury, we believe, Micheál Donoghue and Galway can ill afford to miss those sort of chances. So much space for the Dublin forwards to run into. And Dotsie O'Callaghan, who has been doing this, of course, for Dublin now for so long, made his debut way back in 2003 against Meath. He is as cute and as clever and as experienced as you'll find in terms of inside forwards. His run drawing the foul from Colm Flynn, who's been booked, and O'Callaghan making that attack move, making it tick up there tonight.
As you mentioned, he was out further out the field a few minutes ago, and then he's back in there and win the free inside the 45.
So 20 minutes to go. David Tracy trying to push Dublin out of reach. 10 points they lead by. With 20 minutes to go, you would have got very short odds on this sort of a scenario before a ball was pucked tonight.
Definitely, yeah, and they don't seem to be holding back. They keep pushing at that scoreboard, and it's opened up into double figures now.
Cathal Mannion manages to dig it out and feed Aidan Hart, and Hart with the first time shot takes his point. Well, Galway needed some sort of a response. Their heads spinning after the last 15 minutes, and Aidan Hart, who has been driving them on from the half-back line, gets his first of the night. That's a poor puck out from Dooley. Found only Niall Burke, and Hart again is the dynamic presence in that half-back line, and he's been fouled. Well, Liam Rush, they're prepared to do whatever it took to prevent Galway from building up ahead of steam, and he's taken a yellow. Let's take another look.
Yeah, just a bit high, you know, you need to keep that hurl away from the neck. It draws a free straight away, and, you know, Mannion looking to reverse the last error and put this over the bar.
Well, Dublin had rattled off a goal and 5 points in a row before Cathal Mannion's intervention. That one's gone over. 2 in a row for Galway, and they will keep plugging away. They will keep trying to chip away at that deficit, but to concede 1-5 on the bounce, it really has left them with a mountain to climb heading into the last quarter.
We've been waiting on a response, and, you know, we're slowly starting to get up, but Dublin still really in the driving seat.
Dublin back in the familiar surroundings of Parnell Park tonight, but they will be making the trip across the city to Croke Park in 2 weeks' time. Cork, the visitors to the capital, for the third round match. Fergal Horgan, I think, just ushering Niall Burke and his marker there back from the sideline cut, which hasn't worked out in any event for Galway, and the pressure is back on. Niall McMorrow losing his hurl, and David Burke managing to gather the ball. Driving forward again, it's Aidan Hart. Hart on the run. Well, he was looking for an inspirational sort of score. He's the man that hit the famous equaliser against Dublin in Croke Park last summer. Danny, you won't need any reminding about that, but Hart, to be fair, is driving on every chance he gets, just not getting enough support.
Yeah, he's nearly taking a Dublin on his own at the moment, and not afraid to take a shot at goal as well.
Hart again, first to react to that loose ball. Here's Glennon. Now Andy Smith. Quick look up to spot the run inside of Joseph Cooney, but the pass was overcooked, and it has tailed out over the end line and wide. It's now 7 wides for Galway, as Micheál Donoghue decides to shake things up a little. Man coming into the game is Paul Claffey, former county minor and under-21. Becomes the third Galway substitute to join the match, and it's the cornerback John Hanbury who makes way. Conor Dooley just left that puck out right down on top of Pádraig Breheny, but his pass hasn't found its intended target, and again Dublin get in around that loose ball so quickly. They're thinking quicker, reacting quicker all over the field. Here's Eamon Dillon taking on Pádraig Mannion, driving at the crossbar, going for goal, stopped by Scahill, but Dublin get the free. The referee was playing the advantage. Dillon kept going, went for broke, and Scahill again does well.
Yeah, it's similar position for his shot in the first half. Great save again, but rightly so, he was fouled going in, similar to the first half. He's awarded the free.
Eamon Dillon, always a threat, and the supply has been just the way he likes it. And James Scahill keeping Galway in touch here. That ball goes in, and it is an awfully long way back as Pádraig Mannion picks up a card. Maybe some suspicion that he dropped his hurl there, or more precisely threw it in the general direction of Eamon Dillon as he went through. David Tracy pops over his 9th free of this game. And Dublin really not relenting. They have Galway now right where they want them. Another superb catch by Aidan Hart. Such a strong hand. Here's Breheny to Whelan. Whelan, who has really been shut down by Dublin tonight. And his ball half blocked and hammered down the field by Cian O'Callaghan. Galway finding it very difficult to make any inroads up there.
But we can see the work rate again. David Tracy actually got that block in there, so that's the difference.
Out comes Conor Dooley. Had so many options there. I counted 4 loose Dublin players. He had the easiest task in the world, just to pick out the pass. Schutte knocking it across into the space in front of Colm Cronin, but David Burke has dropped back into the edge of the D now, just to try and bolster that Galway defence that has really taken a pummeling in the third quarter. Dublin lead by 9 and they're not finished yet. There's David Tracy. Just didn't have the legs into the teeth of the wind and taken down and played away by Skehill. But the Galway forward line really has lost its shape completely now. Here's David O'Callaghan, started the night at full forward, has done a shift on the 40 and now back in his own half back line helping out the defence. But I suppose, Danny, it epitomises Dublin's attitude tonight. They have been prepared to work and graft and track runs and do whatever has to be done.
Yeah, like we're noticing it here off camera, like David Tracy in particular getting back, Dotsie O'Callaghan getting back, but more importantly they get back up to put themselves in the position to score as well, which is great to see.
So a sideline cut for Galway. Can they come up with something, or more precisely the goal they need to make a game of this? That has gone out over the end line and it will be a 65. More live action on Wednesday night here on Setanta. Allianz League's Extra at 9:45 on Setanta Ireland, where Adrian Barry and Colin Parkinson will be reviewing this weekend's action and of course looking ahead to next weekend's Allianz Football League games, the highlight of which the meeting of Dublin and Monaghan at Croke Park, a match you can watch live on Setanta Ireland. Cathal Mannion with the 65, and he has missed a couple, but he needed that one and he gets it. Has been very quiet though from open play, from general play, and again you have to give credit where it's due for that, Danny.
Exactly, yeah, no, they're really struggling, but yeah, he's keeping them in the race with 10 minutes left.
So Dublin with 11 minutes to make sure of this, as Darragh O'Connell drives down along the left wing. Paul Hooban is caught by a stray hurl there, not appreciated at all by Pádraig Mannion. Mark Schutte apologising to the referee. Let's take another look. Well, there's a card been shown there, and Mark Schutte is the man who's picked it up. Certainly on second viewing there didn't seem to be a whole lot in it. Skehill with the delivery right into the Dublin goal mouth, where it's grabbed by Liam Rush, the two-time All-Star and the Dublin captain. Again back there where the action is. Dublin though haven't managed to get it away convincingly, and David Burke shooting for the point. Well, it's uncharacteristic of Burke. He was dead-eyed really last Sunday against Cork down in Salt Hill. All of those missed chances though eating in to Galway's confidence. Colm Cronin looked to have won that ball initially. Squeeze put on though by a couple of Galway defenders, and up from the ruck with the ball comes Hooban. Does well. Cleared away by Aidan Hart. Was caught late just as he delivered that ball, and Galway will get the free. But it looks, going by body language, Danny, like Dublin have made a very decisive break. Hit that goal in 5 in the third quarter, seemed to break Galway's spirit, and Galway just haven't been able to get enough scores.
They've killed any attack off there the last few minutes, and you know, we've hit the 60 mark now, so they're on the home stretch, and you just need to, you know, take it up, keep the scoreboard over now with a few more scores.
Well, Dublin's Johnny McCaffrey has gone down off the ball and is being attended to. Referee Fergal Horgan, I think, has been called in by one of his umpires down behind that goal, and they're going to have a conversation and try and figure out what exactly happened there. Play had been stopped for a foul on Aidan Hart, but all of this, of course, if nothing else, runs down the clock, breaks up Galway's momentum, and if Dublin do get out of here with the win and do get back on track, Danny, it will be a massive watershed for them.
Yeah,
so many questions raised by last weekend. This would be a real statement of intent.
Yeah, a lot of them questions answered tonight, and it's a massive win if they can finish it off now.
Well, nothing coming from the conversation between the referee and the umpire. Johnny McCaffrey patched up, and Galway get the score they so badly needed, provided by the St. Thomas's midfielder David Burke. And will that free spark some sort of a revival? Time very much of the essence for Galway now. Dublin lead by 7. Confident puck out there from Dooley to find Rush. Here's Dara Plunkett, gets the shot away before David Burke arrives, but Burke just getting into his eye line, and that was enough to put Plunkett off. As Ger Cunningham and his backroom team get ready to make a change, and Johnny McCaffrey, who was down injured a few moments ago, is about to be replaced by Sean Tracy from Coola.
Yeah, younger brother David, and had championship with the club this year, and he's a proven performer at underage level, so great to see him get a look in tonight.
Liam Rush again uses the ball cleverly. And what about that cheeky little pass from where he scored earlier? This one just off target. Well, it was beautiful first touch hurling from Dublin, and it almost deserved a score. You
can see the confidence in them two moves there. Dotsy throwing a dummy, and then Cronin pulling the trigger right out the touchline. Another Galway attack perishes on that rock that is Owen O'Donnell. And away goes Eamon Dillon. Dillon trying to step inside the challenge of the Galway defender David Collins, and still going, but Collins recovers to get the tackle in. And Galway will have to get reorganised and circle the wagons. Dillon again probing, looking for openings, and his pace has caused Galway so many problems right from the very start. It has, and it's similar to the performance in the Walsh Cup. That's what he's doing now. He's really taking the man on. Ball played right across the field to McMorrow. Here's Eamon Dillon. Almost seemed to know instinctively there that David Tracy would be waiting for it, and Tracy looking to top up his personal tally, push it into double figures, unable to do so.
But Dublin at this stage look to have absorbed Galway's best, everything they could throw at them on the night. And 7 points up with less than 4 to go, the job almost done.
Yeah, and maybe we're expecting inside 10 minutes that Dublin might pull a few men back, but they're not. They're continuing to attack the goal and continuing to look for scores, opportunities, and it looks like it's not going to stop now until they're certain of a win.
Well, a stoppage as the Galway cornerback Paul Houben gets some treatment. And of course this performance from Galway, this likely result now, puts their rematch with Kilkenny in a couple of weeks' time in a completely different light. Micheál Donoghue will know he now has his work cut out. So impressive against Cork last Sunday, so flat here in Parnell Park tonight. And like so many Galway managers over the years, Danny, he gets, I suppose, a first-hand experience of just how inconsistent and unpredictable they can be.
Lads mentioned it in the studio during the week, this time of year is so unpredictable to call a game, so it's just tough. Small margins now, and two teams now really looking to get a win now the following week again.
Well, this game looks done. Danny Sutcliffe, your selection for our Allianz League's man of the match.
Yeah, I suppose it mentions as well Oisin Goff and David Tracy, but I suppose we both agree here Liam Rush really needed him last week, came back in, really protected the full back line there and carried ball out the whole night.
So Liam Rush on the ball, and on his game tonight is Danny Sutcliffe's selection for our Allianz League's man of the match. Remember, he did spend quite a bit of time up front for Dublin last season, an experiment tried out by Ger Cunningham in his first year in charge, but restored to the heart of the Dublin defence tonight. And he really has marshalled them so well. His reading of the game and his deliveries as good as ever. As Mark Schutte gets a chance, this will be close. O'Callaghan's in after it, and Skehill needed a second bite at that. The Galway goalkeeper trying to impress Micheál Donoghue with Colm Callanan on the bench. And after a little bit of juggling, manages to get it away. So Dublin, beaten All-Ireland quarter-finalists in the championship last summer, beaten league semi-finalists last spring, look like they're about to take a big step in the right direction here at Donnycarney. They really have set the agenda from the very start. And as you can see again, Galway doing well to just get out of their own defence. Nobody at home in that Galway half-forward line. Aidan Hart has caught Dara O'Connell there a little high. Well, as we mentioned earlier, he is a wholehearted player, Aidan Hart, from Gort. He has been booked for that overzealous challenge on Dara O'Connell. And this stoppage will see us tick into added time, into additional time. And the Dublin performance, Danny, tonight, and the display of your man of the match, Liam Rush, as well, it really does whet the appetite for that Cork game in Croke Park in a fortnight's time.
It does. Really good response, and they're back to Croke Park, which they do to win the Walsh Cup, so we know they're comfortable there. So eyes on them now, and great win from tonight.
But I think Aidan Hart can have very few complaints as we watch a replay of that challenge on O'Connell. Here's David Tracy, unerring from frees all night long, and that is now 10 points. He hit 10 against Galway here last March in the Allianz League. He's hit 10 again tonight, and with Paul Ryan not starting David Tracy on the freeze, Danny. He really has grabbed his chance with both hands.
Yeah, exactly. You know, regardless what position Dublin face themselves tonight early on, he just kept the scoreboard ticking over, and even now, knowing that they've got the win, he's still consistently putting the ball over the bar.
Well, this display from Dublin tonight and the margin of their victory, which will arrive any moment now, it does throw your mind back to the likes of that Leinster final a few years ago, the Welsh Cup last month, the league game last March. There are times when they come up against Galway and they are capable of just blowing them out of the water.
Yeah, they have tonight now, in fairness. So I suppose for them now, it's just get back and prepare for the Cork game, really.
We're now 2 minutes into stoppage time. We do believe 4 minutes at least will be added on at the end of the game. Of course, referees now obliged to add on time for substitutions and time that is taken up by free takers as they make their way across the field or backfield. And all of this allowing Dublin manager Sean Tracy, or Dublin manager Ger Cunningham rather, to bring in Sean Tracy for these last couple of minutes as his brother David puts in that sideline ball. David Collins getting it away for Galway. The half-forward line has completely disintegrated now in this last quarter, and each and every Galway clearance is being returned just as quickly. Aidan Hart winning the second ball though. Here's Davy Glennon. Andy Smith. Nothing on inside. Andy Smith takes his own score. It's his first points. It's coming in at half time. But the ease with which Dublin's half backline are dealing with those Galway clearances, it will be one of many concerns and worries for the new Galway manager Micheál Donoghue as he sits down to review this performance later in the week.
It will, and on the flip side, a massive positive for the Dublin setup. You know, really, like you see there again, massive work rate again, and we're into stoppage time. The win's guaranteed, yet they're still working hard.
James Madden is being readied for action, and here he is, wing back for UCD in the Fitzgibbon Cup, a member of Dublin's under-21 team last year as well. And Johnny McCaffrey has given all he can to the cause by the looks of things. We're now over the 4 minutes of allotted stoppage time, and this game has been done for quite a while. Dublin engineering a 3-point lead by half-time and currently out of reach, 7 points clear, and again capable and comfortable soaking up everything that Galway can throw at them. Here's Cian O'Callaghan. Well, another ruck developing in front of Fergal Horgan, who I'm sure is considering blowing that full-time whistle any moment now. Mark Shure, still going strong though, has come outfield this time, just to anchor that half-forward line. Support from Tracy, really enjoying himself here in the pretty tight confines of Parnell Park. But the ease with which Dublin have found space tonight has been a joy to behold for their supporters. Well, with their backs to the wall after last weekend's defeat here in their own backyard, Dublin have got a performance and a huge result. That remarkable unbeaten record here at Parnell Park endures a little longer. Ger Cunningham's team bounced back from defeat to Tipperary with a very convincing win over a very disappointing Galway, who never fired Micheál Donoghue with much to contemplate after a very off-colour and out-of-sorts display from Galway. It has finished in a